Hello friends, this is Dr. V.
Welcome to my world.
Welcome to the world of Indian homeopathy. Homeopathy is booming everywhere. An Indian model of homeopathy. A ministry, a teaching institute, a software program, and some teachers who have given their life for creating extraordinary homeopathic doctors and homeopaths. We have three people here. We have three extraordinary personalities from India. Let's try to enter into mind space of three iconic figures, their wisdom and experience, if calculated together,
Is more than 120 years.
so this documentary, which I am trying to make with my friend Rahul, is called as Shabad. Shabad is a word in one Indian language, Punjabi language. The meaning, a loose meaning could be a word, but the true meaning is blessing and words of wisdom.
The concept which you are having, the Shabad, the journey, this is very, very vital. What you said is very interesting.
In the healing world, the needies are reflection of His presence who is calling you for help. You are not actually helping them. When you treat them, you are healing inside. You learn compassion. You evolve. You create value. Shabad is my communication with those who need rare almighty insights. Collective resonance of my compassion is Shabad.
Homeopathy began from Germany, took a sound and solid footing in Asia, especially in India today. Entered from Calcutta, the then British center of business and empire, trickled slowly to the whole of India and also to other nearby countries like Pakistan and Nepal and Sri Lanka. It developed much better.
There is an unconfirmed story of an Indian saint who pursued an Indian doctor to take up homeopathy because India is a spiritual country. Our spirituality of welfare of soul, welfare of mind and body, a philosophy of nirvana that Buddha delivered from Indian soil. So India took up homeopathy with an open arm and nurtured the science.
Whole homeopathic science is total reflection of Gita. We are given understanding of mind and the concept of mind by Hahnemann in Organon aphorisms, which talks of disturbed mind, and Gita gives us the idea of what makes the mind disturbed. why we become sick and who is sick. And this question is also answered by Dr. Kant further after Animal. That man is sick and not his body. Body only expresses the abnormality or disorders, pains. Whereas the disturbance is right at a central level, what we call as vital force in homeopathy, and Atma surrounded by Jiva, as it is called in Jiva, in Gita.
There is a unique Indian flavor attached to every religion practiced in India. So when Indian philosophers and people discovered homeopathy, they saw the reflection of their own religious belief or philosophy into homeopathic understanding and quickly adapted to the homeopathic way of life, considering homeopathy as a part of their spiritual being.
I always say in next life, because I believe in reincarnation, next life I would love to be born with music and homeopathy and in a small village, and would love to be born in India again.
Homeopathy is a medical science intended to deliver cure of a permanent order. And what is that permanent order? What you are talking of, I being Hindu, Hindu is not a religion. Hindu is way of living. And Bible also gives us idea way of living. Quran also gives us idea of way of living. Therefore, there is no religion of any particular country or race or community which does not give a very broad picture of how to live the life. All of them, they say the same. And earlier I repeated that a good intention without any purpose, without any expectation, very simple living, simple thinking, if everybody lives, and this is true for patient as well as for the physician also, because physician will never be able to perceive very clearly if he himself is sick, and all his sickness is his own desires, and all his sickness is because of his unfulfilled requirements. Therefore, homeopathy as a science is true for every person at any. And mind you, the Organon was written with not a particular idea with some religion, what you call as a background. It was on the contrary written in such a way that whatever has been described in Organon is true for every human being in every country. There is no person who is free from the classification of the disease which is given in animals, whether he is from India or whether he is from America or well, any place. Homeopathy is a universal science. It cannot be put into a box of a particular country, religion or anything. But homeopathy carries behind it the rich wisdom which has been acquired by human being through messages from the God and through various saints, and at the end everything is percolated through Dr. Handman.
Organon is one of the secrets of this successful Indian campaign with homeopathy, is because of many people practicing homeopathy consider Organon as the final word on homeopathy, and they read it like a religious scripture, read it from time to time again and again, and try to use it as a guiding force for their successes and failures.
A tragic, I say, fall, not an end of homeopathy in Western world. Perhaps because it was not institutionalized well, documented well, looked scientific well, came to India, I said to Calcutta. We really had up to Calcutta. We took a step of creating institutionalized homeopathy from a simple reading books and prescribing to certificate course to licentiate course to degree to diploma to degree and then masters and then doctorates. There's a huge network of institutions affiliated to various known universities. Government of India has budget for homeopathy, has laid down standardization of what the institution has to be, what the teacher's qualification is mandatory, what's the entry behavior of a student. Anyone cannot enter the institution. The institution ought to have basic requirement of anatomy lab, physiology lab, pathology lab, the hospital, the number of patients. The teacher has to be qualified, has gone through a vigorous interviews. They are full-timer. When I say full-timer in India, is they are supposed to be in the institution from 9 to 5, from Monday to Saturday. They are not supposed to be working anywhere but to apply for the purpose of creating of healers and homeopathy.
The system, Indian system of homeopathy is governed through a ministry, the colleges that deal with undergrads, postgrads and PhD scholars. And they are doing a lot of work together trying to confirm the theories of Hahnemann, Kent, Boger and Bonninghausen, trying to prove and correlate with modern sciences. We have a system of teaching, of record keeping, looking in the life space of patients. So this system has popularized homeopathy in India.
Homeopathic education can be divided into two parts.
Right.
One was 1980 before that, and one 1980 after that. 1980 training was more based on basic authentic books written by Hahnemann, written by Kent, written by Roberts, philosophy, and all the books which were authentic, and at that time they were supposed to be like a Bible.
Right.
You can't go away. Any student in the college never used to go away from Kent's, never used to go away from Boger, and that such training was there.
Right.
On basic books. As the time advanced, 1980, as I told you, the second part, more a conceptual aspect came into picture.
Right.
As the time went on ahead, we started having from diploma to degree course, somewhere in 85 or so. The range of teaching increased. And more clinical part came into existence. In our time, clinical part was very less. Even our doctors who were practicing homeopathy, let me be very frank, we did not have much clinical understanding of the case. But we were able to pursue the case and prescribe drugs successfully.
And get the result.
This was that.
Right.
As the education further evolved, what happened is that more and more clinical knowledge came into existence. Pathology, clinical medicine, jurisdiction, so many subjects came into existence in a very big way, equivalent to MBBS. And that was also an advantage, because besides homeopathy, students start learning these subjects in which we were not able to catch up. When furthermore education evolved, postgraduate teaching came, in which specific subjects were given more focus, like repertorization. You are PG in repertorization, that means one can understand how much knowledge is expanded in that subject, which as a person in diploma I did not have that much. But being teacher, I could get that advantage. By teaching them, I learned also.
Excellent.
And further, when PhD came, newer and newer thinking came in picture. And now I find that homeopathy has a vast horizon of learning and teaching and practicing than what it was earlier.
The software evolution has changed the world. It took a lot of time for modern medicine to adapt to the norms and the functioning of medical softwares. It is said that around 1990, a perfect software of modern medicine was designed, a patient management system. But homeopathy was one of the sciences or one of the medical systems where the software revolution began somewhere in 1882 or 83. A young person was traveling in United States. He realized the potential of creating a software and discovered how homeopathy fits the bill, and then began the Indian software revolution in the field of homeopathy with one and only Dr. Jawahar Shah, whom we call as Bill Gates of Indian homeopathy.
I was traveling from Washington DC to New York, and that time I purchased a book on use of computers in medicine, and it was such an interesting book. I still remember the color 45 years back. It was a yellow book with black printing on it, and this was so interesting. And I decided that homeopathy is the perfect medical system to computerize, because the precision, where every patient's proving has been done on human being. No other medical science has been proved on human beings. And such precision and acuteness, exactness, like fear of examination, fear of height, fear of dark, all human emotions and intellectual and the characteristic symptoms have been recorded. I took a decision that when I come back, I will start with computerization. And I started in 1982-83, started working with India's one of the biggest, or rather that time the biggest, and world's number one of the first 10 companies, Tata Consultancy Services, which started as a joint venture with TCS, and we developed the first system in 1986. You'll be surprised, Dr. Vaishampayan and Dr. Rahul, for indexing one chapter on extremities, just one simple chapter on extremities, it would take 3 days. People will think that, computerization so simple. No, 3 days. So 3 days while indexing, I will sleep in clinic, I will eat in clinic. On the patient examination bed, I will sleep. And if the indexing stops, you start it again from zero. So this was the time. Today, if I have to do that indexing, entire 10 million symptoms can be done in just less than half a minute. The power of the computers have changed. In those days, it was totally different story. So friends, I got so much interested in the computer and we released one of the world's first computer software. Most of the 3 computer softwares were released around the same time, more or less. That was in 1986. And we were the pioneer and only one from India.
Me and Dr. Jawahar Shah were contemporary. He was my senior when we were students together. He, being a doctor, after being a doctor, ventured into this digital platform. Today, I say if Ken was there, I would have gone and sat at his feet, like the way I said, Kishore Mehta, and taken everything out. And I miss being at Birmingham or Kent or all the stalwarts. I mean, generations to come will not believe that we knew Dr. Jawahar Shah in flesh and blood.
This is my version, a story of evolution of homeopathy in India, the way I see it, the way these 3 gentlemen see. It is said that at every end there is a new beginning. There is nothing as an end, or there is nothing that we could consider as beginning. End and beginning are relative terms, and life goes on, and so is the documentary. See you soon.